Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another session of physics in the webinar series of Telangana State Model Schools and Junior Colleges. Magnetic phenomena. As you know, it is universal phenomena. Vast and distant galaxies, the tiny visible atoms, the human life and the other life on Earth are permeated through and through with the host of magnetic fields from variety of sources. The Earth's magnetic field predates human evolution. So don't you find the topic interesting? Yes, we find magnetism interesting from school level. We have with us Mrs. Uma Maheshwari, PGT Physics of Telangana Model School and Junior College, Gangadhara, to present more interesting concepts of magnetism and matter. Over to Uma Maheshwari, madam. Madam, welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Please update and present the interesting concepts of magnetism and matter.
Okay, sure, ma'am, definitely. Hello, children. Welcome to our physics webinar session. Now we are in chapter 8, that is magnetism and matter. What is this magnetism? So, I think we mostly we found this word, and most of the times we use this word. Most of the times we play with these magnets in our childhood also. But the magnetism is a great phenomena. It is a great concept. As part of the earlier, in the 19th century, Oersted discovered that magnetic field produces due to current carrying conductor. That means the source of magnetic field is an electron. But our human being or ancient people or ancient scientists, they have been using magnets for thousands of years. At the time of no electricity, at the time of no electron was discovered. Just in 19th century only it was discovered that the source of magnetic field is an electron. So means human being, our ancient people, so this is the greatness of them. So when there is no electron was discovered, still they know about the magnet. They have been using the magnet for in various fields like medical field and navigation in so many various fields. Let us take a look on the history of this magnet, children. So actually there is a small story in People Talk. It is a very, very famous story also. So it is happened in 600 BC. That is a shepherd named Magnus, when he herding his sheep to a region of northern Greece. The northern Greece island has a name Magnesia. At the time of the Greece island name is Magnesia. So when he herding his sheep to that region, he observed that his boots are stuck to those rocks, and as well as the wooden stick of his wooden stick. To herd the sheep, he used the wooden stick. So the wooden stick also stuck to the rock. But later he observed that not the wooden stick, not the wooden boots, the nails which are in wooden boots and the metal tip which is on the wooden stick stuck to the rocks. He tried to find the answer for that. Why these metal is attracted by these rocks? What is there? He start digging, and he found that so there are some natural magnetic material called lodestone, and later it is named as magnetite. It is named as magnetite because of, some people say, because of the place name is Magnesia, it is named as magnetite. And some people say the shepherd name is Magnus. That's why the material is named as magnetite. Whatever it is, there are so many stories, whatever it is, but we are using now the word is magnetite. So this is the magnetic ore. So from that we can extract the magnetic material. So like this is a small history which is very famous from the European. but not only European countries. So from the every corner of the world, the magnets are used by human being, like our India also, and that our India also. So children, our India, our ancient Vedas and our ancient scientists believed that some polarity, the magnetic polarity present in our human body, and it respond to these magnetic effects. So Acharya Bhattacharya and his son A.K. Bhattacharya worked on magnets and effects of magnetism on human beings in medical field. And also the famous ancient Indian physicist Acharya Sushruta in 600 BCE, before Common Era. So he he called father of surgery. He is the first Indian plastic surgeon, children. So means in 600 BC only. So in our India, the plastic surgery was discovered. The plastic surgery was made. So means, so how the ancient people are using this magnet in the time, at the time of there is no electricity, there is no electron was discovered. Means the magnets are also used in medical field. Magnets are used for navigation. Magnets are used for attraction property. Magnets are used for that is navigation purpose, and also magnets are used to construct some monuments also they used. And also in China, so they found some Chinese text dating 400 BC. So means there are 4,000 years ago. So it mentions that this magnetic needle for the use of magnetic needle for navigation on ships. So you can observe here, children, there is a you can observe this picture. It is a magnetic compass. Do you know this? It is a magnetic compass. So it's quite different than we observed in nowadays. So this is a magnetic needle. It is a spoon shaped. The handle of this spoon pointing towards south of the earth. So when you rotate this board, so it the spoon also rotates. Because of, you can observe here, it is bowl shaped. It can freely swing. It can freely spin on this board. And here another one, a magnetic compass. It is made in Han Dynasty era. So some Chinese text written on this. So these are the magnetic compasses were made in China at the time of Han Dynasty. So magnets are not the new concept, these are the old concept. So since some for thousands of years we are using magnets in various fields. Nowadays the magnets are used in also in various fields. So the technologies are developed so much in communication system, in medical field, in various fields the magnets are using. Means we must know about the magnet, we must know about the magnetic properties and how the magnets are used in these technology. Okay, children. So let us start our session. Just to take a look on whatever the concepts we are going to learn in this section, children. So now we are going to learn about the magnetic field, properties of magnetic field lines, and also about bar magnet. Children, you know about bar magnet. I think you might have seen in your laboratory. But what is the use of bar magnet? I'm going to explain in this session. Comparison with electric dipole, and also whenever this bar magnet kept in external uniform magnetic field, what happened? So that is Stark-on bar magnet, and also I'm going to derive the time period of oscillations of bar magnet, and also the potential energy of the bar magnet. Every object possesses some potential energy. So we are going to derive this formula for that also. Okay, children. So first of all, I'll start this session with the magnetic field. What is magnetic field? So before going to know about the magnetic field, let me recapitulate some points. So whatever you have learned in your primary and upper primary school. So the simple concepts you already know, children, but I want to recapitulate. That is, magnet has two poles. That is north and south. Simple. Like poles repel. So when we keep the two poles facing each other, they repel each other. So when we keep unlike poles facing each other, they attract towards each other. When we suspend the magnet freely in the air, what it do? Just to simply align in the direction of north and south pole of the earth. Means it pointing towards the north. So this is the principle of construction of magnetic compass. So, and also a magnet can induce magnetism in magnetic substances. Children, already we did this experiment in our school life. That is, when you rub the magnet to the nail continuously, the nail is also behave as a magnet. It can attract other pins, other metallic pins. So observe here this picture. So only here the four nails are stuck to this magnet. This is the magnet. Okay, but these two nails are not stuck to the magnet. These two nails are stuck to these four nails. Because of due to this magnet, these four nails are get magnetized and it can attract the other nails. So these are the simple properties, basic property of the magnets. That is attraction property, directional property, and as well as magnetic induction. That is, it can induce the other magnetism in other material also. Okay, so what is magnetic field? So what is magnetic field? So this word is also, I think you have heard in 10th class, but I'm going to explain a little bit more here. So what is magnetic field? Magnetic field is a vector field that describes magnetic influence on magnetic material or moving electric charge or current carrying conductor. Means if you place any magnetic material like iron things or a moving charge or a current carrying conductor, it experiences force. It experiences force. This is already we have learned in our 10th class. But this force is, this influence of magnetic field is limited to certain region. Limited to certain region. If you keep the materials out of this region, there is no influence on these materials. Okay, so this is called magnetic field. It's a three-dimensional. It is called magnetic field. Understand, children? So this is magnetic field. Out of this magnetic field, if you keep anything, but it is not influenced by this magnetic field. It is a vector field, children. You have to notice that. So vector fields, scalar fields also there. So it will be different. So this is a very important concept that you have to remind it. Magnetic field is a vector field. And the magnetic field has a direction. If it is a vector field, it should have direction. So what present in magnetic field? If you observe the bar magnet, there is nothing you can observe. The surrounded, it's just simply you can observe only bar magnet. You didn't see the whatever happening, whatever you cannot see the things whatever around surrounded the that bar magnet. But when you place any iron thing, you can observe that it is attracting towards the magnet. Okay, children. So means something invisible, invisibly something is there. What are those? Those are magnetic field lines. Those are magnetic field lines. When they are not visible, how can we say that the magnetic field lines are coming from where and moving towards which direction? How will be the pattern? Okay, children. But the scientist, children, Einstein said that imagination is more important than knowledge. So we are not able to see the lines, but we can trace those lines by doing a small experiment. So see, children, here simply I took here a magnetic needle. So when I place near the bar magnet, it shows certain direction. Simply this magnetic needle has north pole and south pole. So the south pole of this needle is attracted towards the north pole. And when you continuous this magnetic needle, just change the position. So you can observe it changing its direction continuously. Try to trace this direction. Try to trace these points. You will get a line. This is nothing but a magnetic field line, and it is, if you consider the direction of north pole, so you can observe here the north pole pointing like this, means from north to south of the bar magnet. So this imaginary path followed by unit north pole in magnetic field is known as magnetic field line. Okay, children? So this line is known as magnetic field line. So let us do a small activity, how to draw the magnetic field line around a bar magnet. So here I took a bar magnet. See children, a small dot. So on this bar magnet there is no indication of north and south, but there is an indication with a white dot. This white dot indicates it is a north pole. So when we keep this bar magnet, just keep this bar magnet on drawing sheet, and just trace it. Just trace it outline of this bar magnet with the help of a pencil. And indicate the north and south pole on the paper, that is north. So white indicates north pole, the white dot indicates north pole, and the other pole is, obviously it is a south pole. Okay. Now take the magnetic compass. See, this is a small magnetic compass. You can observe here a small magnetic needle is there. So the head, the arrow mark head indicates north, and the tail indicates south. If you rotate this magnetic compass, it shows only one direction. Observe children. If you rotate this, you can observe only one direction. Just put the mark near the head of the needle, that is near the north pole of this magnetic needle, and place the compass like the south. The tail of this magnetic needle should coincide with the previous point, like this. Continue this process. You will get a locus of points. Just envelop these points, you will get a line. Just draw the line, adding all these points, you will get a curve, which is nothing but a magnetic field line. A magnetic field line. Just repeat the process. You can draw the other field lines also. But children, you can observe here the magnetic needle pointing from north to south of the bar magnet. So that's why the direction of this magnetic field line is from north to south. Simply just add all these points, you will get the field line. So like this, you can draw the field lines, children. So I cannot draw the three-dimensional picture on the paper, children, but I definitely I can show you. It will help you to imagine the how will be the magnetic field around a bar magnet. See here, children. So how the magnetic field lines are emanating from the north pole and moving toward the south pole. So this is a three-dimensional animation, children. So let me explain about these field lines and these field line properties. Before going to know about the properties, there are some terms, key terms, which are very important to explain, to describe the magnetic field. That is magnetic flux, symbol with 5. Magnetic flux. What is magnetic flux? So if you choose a cross-sectional area in magnetic field, from this cross-sectional area, some magnetic field lines are penetrating or passing through this surface area. These number of magnetic field lines passing normally through the surface area is known as magnetic flux. Magnetic flux is a scalar quantity. Children, is a number. Number means it is a scalar, definitely. So it's just number of field lines passing through normally. You have to choose only normally. So always don't take as a parallel lines. So the flux The lines which are passing through normal to the surface area, those are only considered. So these number of field lines are known as magnetic flux. We have a mathematical expression for this magnetic flux. I think this equation we came across in our 10th class also, that is in electromagnetism lesson. That is phi equal to B dot A, as a flux is a scalar quantity. We have the formula B dot A. We'll get here dot product. That is B A cos theta. What is theta? Theta is the angle between B and A. So what is A? Generally area is a scalar quantity, but here I'm taking area vector. How can we draw the area vector for a scalar area? So just simply draw a normal line to the surface area. A normal line to the surface area. Now this will be the area vector for this sheet. Okay. So the SI unit of magnetic flux is Weber, and as well as the CGS unit is Maxwell. Units are very important in our entrance examinations also, children. So note down these units and um, also these formulas. SI unit of magnetic flux is Weber and CGS unit is Maxwell. So magnetic flux density. So when this flux passing through a certain area, if we choose a unit cross-sectional area, that flux can be known as flux density, symbolized with B. And it is simply, we use the word magnetic field strength. So we didn't use the word magnetic flux density, but actually magnetic flux density or magnetic field strength is same. So magnetic field at a point B can be written as phi by A, that is flux per unit area. Or also we can define like this: number of field lines, number of magnetic field lines passing through unit cross-sectional area is known as magnetic field at a point, or magnetic field density, or magnetic flux density. So unit of this magnetic field in SI is Tesla. And other unit is also there, that is Weber per meter square, but we use more common, that is in Tesla only. So in CGS system it is Gauss. 1 Tesla equal to 10 to the power of 4 Gauss. Children, Tesla is a very huge unit. You cannot imagine that. So Earth has a 10 to the power of minus 5 Tesla magnetic field strength. 10 to the power of minus 5. You can notice that minus 5. So I mean it is very less in amount according in terms of Tesla. So in MRI scanning, do you know MRI scanning? It is a very familiar word. Generally we heard this word from so many people. MRI scanning, brain scanning, magnetic resonance imaging. In this MRI scanning, the magnetic field strength, whatever it is used, it is around 1.5 Tesla. It is very huge amount. It is comparable when you compare with the Earth magnetic field strength. It is 30,000 times more. Okay, children, I think you'll get an idea about this test line gas. So magnetic field strength at poles. Generally, children, around, if you take a magnetic field around bar magnet, so the magnetic field strength is not uniform. The magnetic field strength is not uniform. At different positions, at different locations in the magnetic field, the magnetic field strength will be different. Why? You can see here. So I'm choosing the equal areas here and at the here. So you can observe the magnetic field lines are more in this region and less in this region. We described the just now we described the magnetic field strength as a flux per unit area. If you observe these two areas, here the flux is more, here the flux is very less. Means near the poles the magnetic flux is more. Means magnetic field strength is more at poles. When we move away from the magnet and in the middle of the magnetic field strength is weakened. It's very less. So you can observe here, children. So some iron filings are spread over the bar magnet. Most of the iron filings are gathered near the poles. So this can say that the magnetic poles have near the magnetic poles, the magnetic field strength is more. So next, let me explain you the properties of magnetic field lines. So just now we discussed about how to draw the field lines and what is the direction. So the direction of magnetic field lines are north to south. So, but we have to know some properties of magnetic field lines. Magnetic field lines are continuous closed loops, unlike electric field lines. These are continuous closed loops. If you observe this, the magnetic, if you draw a magnetic field line, so this is outside of the magnet, the magnetic field line moves from north to south. But inside the material, the magnetic field line moves from south to north. Finally, they form the closed loop. Finally, they form the closed loop. So whenever you draw a tangent at any point on this closed loop, at any point on this closed loop, you can observe here. So these tangents represents the direction of magnetic field. So the tangent drawn to the field line at a given point represent the direction of the net magnetic field at that point. It's very important. So what is the direction of magnetic field line? Simply draw a tangent line at that point. You will get the direction of magnetic field line. Children, you can observe when you see the bar magnet and the field lines here, do they intersect? If I keep another magnet near to this magnet, this is I'm bringing one magnet near to the other magnet. Is the field lines of one magnet intersect the other magnet's field lines? Is it possible or not? Let us see. So if we say that the magnetic field lines are intersect, what happens? So simply draw a tangent line at intersection point. If you draw the tangent line for this curve and for this curve also, at the intersection point, you will get two directions here. You will get two directions. Magnetic field is a vector quantity. What is vector quantity? It should have unique direction at a point. But at this point, you can observe the magnetic field has two directions, which is violating the rule of vectors. So means this would not happen. It would not happen. Means the magnetic field lines are do not intersect. The magnetic field lines are do not intersect. This is very important, children. So the explanation of why they do not intersect means when they intersect with each other, at the intersection point, the field has two different direction. So which is violating the rule of vector. A vector should have unique direction at a point. Okay, children? So means magnetic field lines do not intersect each other. And also magnetic monopoles do not exist, unlike electric poles. When you cut the bar magnet, it again forms the two poles, north and south, north and south. Try to stick it, it not happens. Okay, so north and south poles. If you break the magnet, again they behave as individual magnets and it produces individual dipoles. Unlike electric poles, come to the electric poles. There is a positive individual charge exists and a negative individual charge exists. Both also exist, but at the same time, there is an individual positive charge we can locate. We can locate the negative individual charge, but not in magnetism. Magnetic monopoles do not exist. The magnetic poles always exist in pairs. That is, poles cannot be separated. This is very important. There is a comparison with electric poles and magnetic poles. So let us see what happened when the two bar magnets and its north and south faces are facing each other. So here, how the magnetic field lines are changes their direction due to the presence of other magnetic field. So observe here. So here the magnetic field lines are emanating from this north and moving towards the south. Like this, all the field lines. always emanating from a north pole, and they try to move toward the south, and definitely they move to south, and again they move from south, and it ended any one north pole. So finally they forms the closed loops. What happened if I change the direction of this the second bar magnet? If you face the north and north poles, or if you face the south and south poles, what happened? See here, the magnetic field pattern is completely changes. The magnetic field lines directions are changes. See here. And when you place it in a orthogonal position, so see how the magnetic field is changing. Here, this magnetic field moving like this, and it is actually it has to travel in this direction towards the north, but due to the presence of the other magnet, so it is changes its path and moving in this way, and finally it reaches the south pole. Means whatever you do, the magnetic field lines do not intersect with each other. Okay, children? So I think I hope you understood the concept, children. So let me recapitulate the Gauss law in electrostatics. What is Gauss law? Tell me, children. Try to recall it. Yes, I think the formula will come in your that is brain. That is integral E dot ds equal to q by epsilon naught. So let me describe that. So this is the positive charge, and these are the electric field lines, always outward from the positive charge. If I choose certain closed surface area in the electric field, so what is the net flux through this field? So you can observe here, the three field lines are entering, at the same time the three field lines are leaving. What does mean that? The number of flux entering equal to number of flux leaving. And also the Q, the charge is not there inside this closed surface. So Q is 0. When the flux, number of flux is entering equal to number of flux is leaving. So means what? The net flux is 0. Mathematically also we can express like this, that is integral E dot ds equal to q by epsilon naught. But here charge enclosed by the surface is 0. That's why you will get flux is 0. But when I choose the closed surface area which contains charge, so this is a surface, Gaussian surface which I chosen. So from this surface, you can observe here, the field lines are emanating from this surface, but there is no entering, just leaving from this surface. Means the net flux is not 0. According to the formula, the net flux is integral E dot ds equal to q by epsilon naught. Means the total flux through the closed surface is equal to the 1 by epsilon naught times to the charge. If you apply this concept to the magnetic field, to the magnetostatic, in magnetostatics, what happened? It is, observe here, children. I chosen the a closed surface near the poles. If you observe the surface area, here from this side, from the bottom side, the magnetic field lines are entering into the surface. From top of the surface, the magnetic field lines are leaving. So finally, the flux entering equal to flux leaving. Even though the surface area consists of magnetic pole, the net flux is 0. Means what? The integral b dot ds, net flux through closed surface area, is always 0. This is a Gauss line magnetism. This is Gauss line magnetism. So the net magnetic flux through any closed surface is always 0. That is integral b dot ds equal to 0. You can observe here, children, on integral I put some circle symbol here. This represents it is a closed surface. You have to choose the closed surface. Here B is magnetic field and ds is the small element of the closed surface. So this is the Gauss line magnetism. Children, it is very important. Gauss line electrostatics and Gauss line magnetostatics. There is a small variation. net flux through closed surface area is zero in Gauss law. In magnetostatics, in electrostatics, it is not equal to zero. If the surface consists of charge, then it is equal to Q by epsilon naught. Okay, so let me test your understanding. So just I'll give you a picture here. I will draw some picture here. Try to describe these lines. These lines are belongs to magnetic field lines, or these are represents to electric field lines. Okay, children, shall we go? Yeah, observe here. So this is the field lines which are drawn here. What it could be? These field lines are represents magnetic field or electric field lines. Tell me, children. So you have to analyze yourself. Whatever the concept just now we explained in this session, just recall them and try to analyze that these field lines are belongs to which one. Either it is a magnetic, either it is a electric. So magnetic field lines can never emanate from a point. So not from a point, it can from some surface, not from a point. But if you observe this picture, the field lines are emanating from a point. So we can say that simply, these are not the magnetic field lines. Another point is also we learned, children, that is Gauss law. What is Gauss law? If you choose in surface area, the net flux should be equal to zero. So if I choose surface area here, the flux entering is equal to the flux leaving. So the net flux through this surface area is zero. Okay, but when I choose the surface area here, if you observe here, so only the flux is leaving from the surface. There is no entering. Means what? The net flux is not equal to zero. That is, it is violating the Gauss law in magnetostatics. According to the Gauss law in magnetism, the net flux through any closed surface area must be zero, but here not equal to zero. That's why these field lines are not a magnetic field line. Then what it could be? If you imagine a positive charge along this rod, it represents electric field lines. Electric field lines. These field lines represent electric field of a long positively charged wire. That is already we came across in our previous lesson. Electrostatics. In electrostatics, we already observed this one. So here electric fields lines can emanate from a positive charge. So this represents electric field lines. I hope you understand the properties of magnetic field lines and some laws of about the magnetic field lines. Okay. So let's move to the next interesting session, that is bar magnet. What do you know about bar magnet? Simply, you know, it has North Pole, it has South Pole, and it has a magnetic field around it. If you suspend it freely in the air, it aligns in the direction of north and south of the earth. But actually, there is a vast applications of bar magnet in our laboratory. So let me explain you what are the uses of a bar magnet in our laboratory. But before going to that, we have to know some elements of bar magnet, which are very important. That is, number one, magnetic length, always represented with 2L. What is magnetic length? Children, I use the word here, magnet. What is that magnetic length, not geometrical length? So it is the distance between center of the two poles of the magnet is called magnetic length of the bar magnet. This, see here, it is a little bit less than the geometric length. So observe here, this is the geometric length, end to end. End to end is a geometric length. With the help of scale, you can measure. But what is magnetic length? It is nothing but the distance between center of the two poles. The centers are little away from this end of the bar magnet. So that's why the magnetic length is less than the geometrical length of the bar magnet. The next one is important, that is pole strength, which is not given in our textbook, children. So note down this one. What is pole strength? The strength of magnetic pole to attract a magnetic material towards itself is known as pole strength. So means it is a scalar quantity. Just to see an activity, small activity here. Some iron rust is placed on this white paper. When you keep the bar magnet and just roll it, and keep the bar magnet on this iron filings. See what happened. What happened, children? I think you already know about this. So in childhood, you might have played with this magnets, and when we throw the magnet in dust, so whatever the iron filings are there in dust, it attracted by this magnet. But you can see here, most of the iron filings are gathered near the poles of the ends of the magnet. Means near the poles of the magnets. Means what? The pole strength is very high near the pole. This is called pole strength. Attracting magnetic materials towards itself is known as pole strength. It is depend on type of material and as well as the magnetic, the shape, the dimensions of the magnet, children. So magnetic pole strength is a pole strength is a scalar quantity, and unit of pole strength is ampere meter. Ampere meter. Note down the unit, children. The pole strength unit of pole strength is ampere meter. So next move to the magnetic dipole moment, which is very important term in our lesson. So like electric dipole moment in electrostatics, that is P, it resembles with the P, electric dipole moment. What is magnetic dipole moment? Magnetic dipole moment can be defined as product of separation of between two poles and pole strength, that is M equal to 2L into M. Here dipole moment is a vector quantity, as a pole strength is a scalar quantity, but dipole moment is a vector quantity. Unit of dipole moment is ampere meter square. Unit of dipole moment is ampere meter square. So let me compare the bar magnet with electric dipole. Can we compare it? If you compare with this electric dipole, it will be easy to understand about the bar magnet also, children. Already we derived the so many formula for the electric dipole. That is electric field on axial line, electric field on equatorial line, and also when we keep the electric dipole in an external electric field, it makes rotations, means torque experienced by the electric dipole. So here also the same with the bar magnet. If you compare the bar magnet with electric dipole, it will be easy to understand. So this is the bar magnet and this is the electric dipole. Here north and south pole, here positive charge and a negative charge separated with a constant distance. Here the dipole length is taken as 2a and here 2l. So what is magnetic moment? Product of pole strength and 2l. And what is electric dipole moment? Product of charge into separation between both charges, that is q into 2a. So but here one point is very important. As a dipole moment is a vector quantity, the direction of dipole moment is south pole to north pole. So see here, the direction of dipole moment is south to north along axial line. This point is to be noted here. So let me find what will be the magnetic field on axial line. If we draw an axial line, what is axial line? Axis passing to the bar magnet along its length is called axial line. So on axial line, I choose a point here X at a distance R. At a distance R. So here also an electric dipole on axial line at a distance R. I choosing a point here X. So what will be the magnetic field at this point on axial line? So you can compare it with the electric dipole, children. So what is the electric field at this point, children? Just to recall the formula, that is E equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2p by r cube. Here epsilon naught is permittivity of free space. P is electric dipole moment and R is the distance from center of the dipole to the point on the axial line. So if you compare this equation, and you can write for the bar magnet also, that is B equal to, here 1 by epsilon naught replaced with mu naught. What is mu naught? Permeability of free space. And P with M, that is magnetic dipole moment, and remaining are same. The distance from the center of the bar magnet to the point which we chosen on axial line. B equal to mu naught by 4 pi into 2m by r cube. But here children, along axial line, what is the direction of magnetic dipole moment? South to north. And what is the magnetic field direction? Along axial line. Yes, it is also south to north. Out of the magnet, it will be north to south. But along axial line, you can observe here, the magnetic field line is moving like this, and it is moving like this. Means moving toward the south. Moving towards the south. So this is the magnetic field direction. Means both are having the same direction along the axial line. If you choose a point on equatorial line, if you choose a point on equatorial line, before going to that, so I want to explain about permeability, and you can compare with how can be it difference to the how can we differentiate with the permittivity, children. So what is permeability? Permeability is the ability of the material to allow magnetic lines to conduct through it. Permeability is the ability of the material to allow magnetic field lines, to allow the magnetic field lines pass through it. This ability is dependent on the nature of material. So generally for free space, the value is 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7 Tesla meter per ampere. Then what is permittivity? Permittivity is nothing but it is a measures the obstructions produces the material in the formation of electric field. Means whenever the electric field is formed, if some material is there, some material is exist there, so it obstruct to spread the electric field. That obstruction is known as the permittivity of the material. So permittivity of the free space is, already we know the value, that is 8.85 into 10 to the power of minus 12 coulomb square per Newton meter square. So we have the relation between this permeability and permittivity, that is C equal to 1 by under root epsilon naught mu naught. If you substitute these two values in this equation, you will get this value, that is 3 into 10 to the power of 8, which is nothing but light velocity in free space. Light velocity, that is 3 into 10 to the power of 8. So this is the relation between light velocity C and permittivity of free space and permeability of the free space. Now we move on to the field on equatorial line. Simply compare with again electric dipole. If I choose a point on equatorial line, what is equatorial line? Just draw a normal line to the axial line from the center of the bar magnet. You will get the equatorial line. Just choose a point on the equatorial line. So take it as a Y. And for electric dipole also draw the equatorial line at a distance, and choose the point at a distance of r from the mid of the dipole to that point, that is say r. Now what is the electric field direction at this point? So if you place any material at this point, it experiences the electric force by this positive charge in this direction, and as it is a negative charge, it experiences in this direction. So means one force is in this direction, another force is in this direction. So what will be the resultant direction of the electric force on the material? Tell me children. Yes. This is the direction of resultant electric field at this point. And what is the value here? That is E equal to minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P by R cube. If you write the equation for, if you want to write the equation for bar magnet, simply you can write like this, that is B equal to, So here children, what is magnetic field direction? From north to south. That's why you will get this direction. So B equal to minus 1 by epsilon naught replaced with mu naught, that is mu naught by 4 pi into P with M, that is dipole moment M by R cube. So here children we get minus here. Why it is minus? So what is the dipole moment direction here children? At this point, what is the dipole moment direction? So we know the dipole moment direction is south to north. South to north. So means here dipole moment and the magnetic field both are in opposite direction. That's why we get here minus. Okay children. So on equatorial line, the magnetic dipole moment and magnetic field have the opposite direction. Due to this reason, you will get here minus. So to understand these two formulas, try to do a small problem children, that is try to solve it on paper children. Take this question. What is the magnitude of the equatorial and axial fields due to a bar magnet of length 8 centimeters at a distance of 50 centimeters from its midpoint? The magnetic moment of bar magnet is 0.4 ampere meter square. So here magnetic moment is given as m equal to 0.4 ampere meter square and the distance from midpoint is r given as 50 centimeter. We have to convert into meters children, don't forget this. That is 0.5 meters. So let us try to solve the equation for equatorial line, that is BE equal to mu naught by 4 pi into m by r cube. Here I am not mentioning the minus symbol. So it is only represents the direction, only for that only. So that's why I am not taking here. So what is mu naught 4 pi value? That is 10 to the power of minus 7. Mu naught value is 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7. And mu naught by 4 pi value is 10 to the power of minus 7 Tesla meter per ampere. Note this value children. It is very important for our problems. So substitute all the values in the equation, that is 10 to the power of minus 7 into m, that is 0.4 by r cube, 0.5 whole cube. So what is, if you calculate this one, you will get 3.2 into 10 to the power of minus 7 Tesla. Along axial line. So there is a small difference between these two formulas. Just multiply with the 2, you will get the value. But children, you have to take care that in the problem, the distance is given same for equatorial line and axial line. So that's why you can easily multiply the two, whatever the value we get in along the equatorial line. You will get the answer 6.4 into 10 to the power of minus 7 Tesla. But when the distance is not given, don't do this. Again, you have to substitute all the values and calculate it. So here the distance is given same for the both axes. That's why I did like this. But when the distance is not given same, then you have to substitute all the values again and calculate the values. Because of the magnetic field strength is inversely proportional to the cube of the distance. Inversely proportional to the cube of the distance. Means how the distance is going on changes, increases, the magnetic field strength is decreases. Children, let's move to another concept. What happened when the bar magnet kept in a external magnetic field? External magnetic field. What happened children when the electric dipole kept in an external electric field? Yes, it experiences torque. We already came across these concept and the formula for the torque also in our previous chapter. Here I'm going to explain that what happened whenever the bar magnet keeps in a external magnetic field. Observe children, when we place the bar magnet in an external magnetic field, so here you can observe the north pole experiences the force in the direction of magnetic field and the south pole experiences the force in opposite to the magnetic field. Finally, what happened? When the two forces acting on an object equal in magnitude and opposite to each other and acting at two different points of the same object. What happened, children? Try to recall. when the two forces equal and opposite to each other, and exerting on two different points of the object. Then what happened? Yes, the rotation takes place. The rotation takes place. This is known as torque. This is known as torque. So observe here children, this is small video. So whenever the uh, apply the two forces with the two fingers equal and in opposite direction, then only you can open the bottle cap. Means it can rotate. This is known as torque. If you want to close the bottle cap, then also you have to apply the two forces equal and opposite. Can you do it with one finger children? No, it's not possible. It require, for a rotation of object, it require two equal and opposite forces. Then only we can rotate the object. This is known as torque. This is known as torque. So what is the formula of torque children? We already know this formula in our first year, that is in system of particles. What is torque? Force into perpendicular distance. What is force? The force is here, the force experienced by the pole can be written as a product of pole strength into magnetic field, that is M into B. And what is perpendicular distance here children? If you draw the line, if you draw the uh, if you extend the line of this force, and if you draw the perpendicular line between this force and this force, you will get a perpendicular line, and the distance, the length of this line is known as a perpendicular distance, taken as a d. How to calculate this perpendicular distance? You can observe here. So this is the bar magnet length, that is hypotenuse, it forms hypotenuse, and this is a right angle triangle, and here to here it is can be taken as a bar magnet length 2L, and these three lines form the right angle triangle like this, and the bar magnet making the angle with the magnetic field is say theta, and the triangle like this. This is the triangle formed by those lines. This is the magnetic length. This is the angle made by the bar magnet with the magnetic field, and this is the perpendicular distance. From this triangle, from this right angle triangle, we can write values like sine theta equal to opposite side by hypotenuse, that is sine theta equal to d by 2l. From this you can write d equal to, that is perpendicular distance, d equal to 2l sine theta. So substitute these values in our equation, that is tau equal to f into d. D is 2l sine theta. So f is mb into 2l sine theta, and tau equal to m into 2l can be written as mb sine theta. So as a torque is a cross product, so tau equal to m cross b. It resembles the equation torque on electric dipole, that is tau equal to p cross e. So this is the torque act on the torque experienced by the bar magnet when it is placed in an uniform external field. So see children, simply I suspended this bar magnet uniform magnetic field. So what happened? See children, so when the external field is applied to the bar magnet due to the force exerted by the magnetic field, it makes a rotation. But it again rotating in counter clockwise, so anti-clockwise direction. Why it is happening? Because of there is a restoring force developed across the string which oppose the motion of the bar magnet. Due to this reason, it makes oscillations. It makes oscillation. So there is a force due to the external field, yes, but due to the counter torque, due to the restoring force, there is a counter torque produces on magnetic field. Due to this reason, the magnet makes oscillations. The magnet makes oscillation. What are those equations children here. This is the deflecting torque. This torque is produced by magnetic field on the bar magnet, that is tau equal to mv sine theta. And restoring torque developed across the string is tau equal to I alpha. Whenever, what is I alpha? What is I? Moment of inertia, and alpha is the angular acceleration, that is d square theta by dt square. But when at equilibrium state, whenever the restoring torque and deflecting torque both are equal, at that point the bar magnet comes into rest. So this is the condition. Restoring torque is equal to minus deflecting torque. Why it is minus? Because of restoring torque opposes the deflection torque. So here I d square theta by dt square equal to minus md sine theta, and d square theta by dt square equal to minus md by I sine theta. So we can write it as alpha, that is angular acceleration, which is equal to minus mb by I into theta. Why I wrote here theta sine theta? Since the theta is very less, very small, then sine theta is approximately equal to theta. So that's why I wrote here theta. So you can observe here, children. I think this equation is recall you something. It that is, you already came across this equation. This is a condition of simple harmonic motion. Simple pendulum. In the case of simple pendulum, angular acceleration is equal to minus omega square theta. Minus omega square theta. Here, what is omega? Angular velocity. This is the equation for the satisfy the condition of simple harmonic motion. So that is, acceleration is directly proportional to the displacement but in the opposite direction. Then only it is said to be a simple harmonic motion. So if you compare these two equations, alpha equal to minus mv by I into theta, alpha equal to minus omega square theta. So here you can compare this angular velocity as omega square equal to mv by I. From this you can write omega equal to under root mv by I. But we have a relation between time period and angular acceleration, sorry, angular velocity or angular frequency also it is called. Okay, children? So what is the relation, children? Try to recall it. Relation between time period and omega, T and omega. T equal to, yes, 2 pi by omega. T equal to 2 pi by omega. That is, so if you substitute the omega value in this equation, you will get that equation. Same, similar to the time period for a simple pendulum, that is t equal to 2 pi under root L by G. Here it is a bar magnet. You will get the equation like this. It is t equal to 2 pi under root I by MD. Here, what are these times? Just square on both sides. You will get like this equation, that is t square 4 pi square into I by MB. From this, you can write the value for B. Just interchange the parameters B and T square. You will get B equal to 4 pi square into I by MT square. So what is the significance of this formula? What is the significance of this oscillation of a bar magnet in an uniform external field, external uniform magnetic field? So means we can determine the magnetic field strength at a place using with the help of a small process, with the help of this small experiment, just to make the bar magnet to suspend in external field, and it makes oscillation. Just to count the oscillation and to calculate the time period, simply substitute these values in this equation, you will get the magnetic field due to the magnetic field strength at a place. This is very important, children. This is one of the application of bar magnet in our laboratory. So what is I here? Yes, it is a moment of inertia bar magnet. We have the formula when the bar magnet rotate along its equatorial line, that is m into a square plus b square by 12. A is the width of the bar magnet, B is the length of the bar magnet, and M is the mass of the bar magnet. Substitute these values, you will get I. And the portion, that is dipole moment, is already given there, and theta you have to calculate by doing experiment. Substitute all the values, you will get the magnetic field strength value. So try to do one small problem to understand that formula. So read this problem, children. So read the problem twice because of at least twice. Then only you can understand the problem. The magnetic needle has a magnetic moment 6.7 into 10 to the power of minus 2 ampere meter square, and moment of inertia is 7.5 10 to the power of minus 6 kg meter square. It performs 10 complete oscillations in 6.7 seconds. What is the magnitude of the magnetic field? So here we have to calculate the magnetic field strength here, children. So for that we need magnetic moment and as well as the moment of inertia and also time period. Children, but here time period is given as a 6.7 seconds, but it is not actual time period, it is time taken to complete 10 oscillations. What is time period? Time taken to complete one oscillation is the time period. So just divide with the 10 with this value, you will get time period T equal to 6.7 by 10, which is equal to 0.67 seconds. Moment of inertia is given as a 7.5 into 10 to the power of minus 6 kg meter square. Substitute these values in our equation, that is B equal to 4 pi square into I by mt square. So then calculate the values, that is 4 into pi value is 3.14 whole square into I value is given as 7.5 into 10 to the power of minus 6 by, and m value is given as 6.7 into 10 to the power of minus 2 into t square. T is 0.67 whole square. When you calculate all these values, you will get 0.01 Tesla. So like this, you have to calculate this. Problem is important for some in entrance exams also. Is already these type of problems are given there. So try to practice this type of problems. There are so many problems given in our textbook, exercise problems. So try to solve all the problems, children. So now next going to another concept. So whenever the object experiences the force, whenever the object changes its dimensions or changes its position or changes its motion or its state, what happens, children? Just recall the work and energy, the work energy theorem. What is work energy theorem? Whatever the work is done on the object, it is stored as a energy. So that is, here the bar magnet rotates or oscillates in an external magnetic field. So means here the magnetic field did work on the bar magnet. This work done on bar magnet stored as a potential energy. Stored as a potential energy. So the work done in rotating the dipole in external uniform magnetic field stored as a potential energy in bar magnet. What is this potential energy value? So we have a basic formula, that is integral F ds. We know the F dot ds, but we can replace force with torque in rotatory motion and displacement with the angular displacement, that is potential energy is equal to integral tau d theta. What is tau value? Torque value, just now we derived that, that is tau equal to mb sine theta. So now potential energy equal to sine theta. Integral sine theta value is minus cos theta. You will get here minus mb cos theta. So as the potential energy is a scalar quantity, then it will be equal to minus m dot b. So what happened when the theta is 0? Children, you can observe this picture. It is very important. Observe carefully. So the bar magnet, if it is in this position, so means the north pole of the bar magnet directing towards external field, means that now the angle between dipole moment and magnetic field both are equal to 0. If it is 0, cos 0, 1, means the potential energy is minus mb, means it is a minimum value, means at this position, the Mar magnet possess minimum potential energy. But in this position, when the bar magnet in this position, that is the north pole is opposing to the magnetic field, means this is the dipole moment direction. This is the dipole moment direction and this is the magnetic field direction. Here, the dipole moment and the magnetic field both are in opposite direction, means the theta value is 180. If it is 180, cos theta, cos 180 is minus 1. Minus into minus plus, you will get positive, means maximum potential energy. So means what? Children, uh, one point is very important. In this universe, every object try to stabilize itself, try to be in stable state. To get stabilization, it should have minimum potential energy. So every object try to stabilize itself. In this process, try to decrease, try to minimize its potential energy. So here children, when the bar magnet is in this position, it possesses maximum potential energy. But when it is in the previous position, that is north pole towards the magnetic field, it possesses minimum potential energy. Mean the bar magnet try to be in the previous position only. That's why whenever the bar magnet kept in a magnetic field, it tried to rotate itself and try to align in the direction of magnetic field, because of in that situation only it can possess minimum potential energy. If it is in like this, if it is like this, the magnet possesses high potential energy. It is a highly unstable position. So due to this is also one type of description of why the bar magnet lies in that direction only. Why the bar magnet try to be in the direction of magnetic field, because of whenever it is in the direction of magnetic field, the angle between dipole moment and the magnetic field strength is zero. Then it possesses minimum potential energy. Then it will be stable. Due to this reason, the magnetic bar magnet try to align in the direction of magnetic field. It is very so. So up to now we discussed so many quantities, so many concepts. So let's try to map these all concepts with the electrostatics. Whatever the concepts learned in electrostatics. So it will be easy to you children, because it will be easy to just map the concept from electrostatics to magnetostatics. Let us see here. In electrostatics, we use most of the in cases that is 1 by epsilon naught. In the place of 1 by epsilon naught, we use in magnetostatics mu naught, that is permeability of free space, and here it is permittivity of free space. And dipole moment, that is in electrostatics, it is P equal to Q into 2L. In magnetostatics, it is pole strength into 2L. On equatorial line, the electric field strength for an electric dipole, that is E equal to minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P by R cube. And for bar magnet, it is minus mu naught by 4 pi into M by R cube. On axial field, on axial line of the electric dipole, it will be E equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2p by r cube. And for bar magnet, it will be B equal to just mu naught 1 by epsilon naught replaced with mu naught by 4 pi into 2m by r cube. P is replaced with m. So torque in an external field. For electric dipole, it is P cross E. And for bar magnet, it is M cross B. Don't interchange the parameters. Don't say it as E cross P. Because of for a cross product, uh, A cross B, it do not obey the commutative law. That is, A cross B is not equal to B cross A. So potential energy of the field, potential energy of the electric dipole, that is U equal to minus P dot E. As potential energy is a scalar quantity, you will get here dot product minus P dot E, and potential energy of bar magnet, that is U equal to minus M dot B. So these are all the formulas you have to memorize, and you have to remember it, and take this table in your notes children. So these concepts are very important. These are the basics for the electrostatics and as well as the magnetostatics. So let us take a look on whatever we learned in this session children. That is properties of magnetic field lines. And these are continuous closed loops. They do not intersect with each other. And magnetic monopoles do not exist. Gauss-line magnetostatics. Integral B dot ds is equal to 0. That is, net flux through a closed surface is always 0 for magnetic field. And key terms of bar magnet, that is magnetic length, pole strength, and also magnetic dipole moment we have learned. So we compare the magnetic dipole with electric dipole, and the magnetic field intensity at a point on axial line of bar magnet is also derived, that is B equal to mu naught by 4 pi into 2 m by r cube. On equatorial line, it will be B equal to mu naught by minus mu naught by 4 pi into m by r cube. Here why minus? Because of dipole moment and magnetic field are in opposite direction. And also what happened, we see what happened when the bar magnet kept in an external uniform magnetic field. So it makes oscillation, children, and it experiences a torque, that is tau equal to m cross b. When it makes oscillation, the oscillations are simple harmonic motion. And these oscillations are produced due to restoring force developed across the string. And due to this, we can the magnet can oscillate in an external field, and the time period for those oscillations also we derived, that is t equal to 2 pi under root I by mb. And also we derive the equation for potential energy of bar magnet. Every object, whenever the work is done on the object, it acquires energy. Here, whatever the work is done by the magnetic field, that is stored as a potential energy, and the potential energy of the bar magnet is equal to minus m dot b. So children, these are the concepts we learn in the sessions. These are very important. Try to go to the textbook and try to learn all these concepts. Thank you, children. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Uma Maheshwari madam. It was really an interesting session. Children, the science of magnetism is old. It has been known since ancient times that magnetic materials tend to point to the north-south direction. Like magnetic poles repel, and unlike magnetic poles attract. And you do not have magnetic poles as isolated. They always appear in pairs. Whereas when you compare it with electric charges are single, they are quantized. But magnetic poles are not isolated, they are not single, they always appear in pairs. When you cut a bar magnet into pieces, each piece will have its own north pole and south pole. So research is going on in this field. And today you have learned when a bar magnet of dipole moment M is placed in a uniform magnetic field B, the force on it is 0, the torque on it is M cross B or MB sine theta, where M is the dipole strength and B is the magnetic field strength. And the potential energy is minus M dot B. And always the system tries to have lower potential energy. That is, the magnet tries to align in the direction of magnetic field. So you have also learned about the magnetic field strength when it is along the axis of a magnet. That is, B is equal to mu naught M by 2 pi r cube. And you have also learned the magnetic field on the equatorial line, that is mu naught M by 4 pi r cube. And you have also learned about the analogous features between magnetic field and electric field. You have also learned about the time period of oscillations, and it is very important when you try to determine the magnetic field strength. If you have any further doubts, once again revisit this video and prepare your own notes, and any other queries you can contact your class teachers. Thank you, Uma Maheshwari madam. It was really a wonderful session. Thank you for presenting it in a beautiful way. Thank you, children.
Thank you, children.